Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Marcos Orellana. I am the United Nations Special Rapporteur on Toxics and Human Rights. I am very pleased to have the opportunity to join you in the opening of the second conference towards an international regulatory framework for pesticides in this virtual manner. And I look forward to joining you in person for the closing tomorrow, Friday. Please allow me to make three observations at this time. Firstly, it is most fitting for the second conference to be hosted at the European Parliament. This is because the European Union and its member states have a special responsibility to ensure that their measures and policies do not result in serious and foreseeable harm to human rights. And that is precisely what results from the export of pesticides that are banned or restricted for use in the Union. The result? Human suffering that is widespread and severe. Secondly, the venue of the second conference towards an international regulatory framework for pesticides also reflects the critical importance of EU leadership in this area. We're seeing positive steps taken by countries like Belgium and France, but of course much more needs to be done to transform the pledges of the EU Chemical Strategy for Sustainability into concrete legal action. In this regard, real leadership is not devoid of cost, but it is driven by principle. And in the context of pesticides, the prevention of exposure to hazardous substances for the protection of human rights that are compromised by such exposure. Thirdly and last, it is most appropriate for the conference to speak to an international regulatory framework for pesticides, and that is because this issue concerns shared responsibilities between exporting and importing states. Exports of prohibited pesticides are a form of discrimination that involves odious double standards, and at the same time, imports of hazardous pesticides often result in a violation of the importing state's duties to protect fundamental rights. To conclude, we must face reality. Exports of prohibited pesticides result in harm to the life and health of people in the weakest link of the food supply chain. Poor farmers and children in the fields of the global south suffer the brunt of the export of prohibited pesticides. To put an end to this situation, the European Union's leadership is indispensable. I wish you a most fruitful discussion and look forward to seeing you in person tomorrow.